Ladies and gentlemen, football fans across Cowboys Nation and beyond, buckle up because we've got some electrifying news straight out of the Star in Frisco that's got the NFC East buzzing like a hive of angry hornets. Imagine this, it's Week 1 against the Bears, your star wideout, yes, the electric CD Lamb, twists an ankle, and suddenly, America's team is holding its breath. But fast forward to today, October 16th, 2025, and what do we hear? Lamb's not just walking, he's dancing on that gridiron again. What a story of resilience, right? It's the kind of comeback that reminds us why we love this game, the grind, the grit, and the glory. Welcome to your daily dose of Cowboys fever. I'm your host, and today, we're diving deep into CD Lamb's triumphant return from the sidelines. Let's roll. First off, let's recap the drama that's unfolded over these nail-biting past 3 weeks. It all started in that gritty opener against the Chicago Bears, where Lamb, our fleet-footed phenom wearing that iconic number 88, went down with a nagging ankle sprain. Ouch. The Cowboys, ever the cautious crew under head man Mike McCarthy, chose not to slap him on injured reserve, a smart move that kept the door wide open for a quick turnaround. Instead of rushing him back into the fire, they let him marinate, heal, and plot his revenge on the field. And boy, has it paid off. Just days into this practice week leading up to Sunday's showdown with the Washington Commanders, Lamb's dropping bombshells that have fans chanting his name from AT&T Stadium to your living room couch. In a sit-down with ESPN's Todd Archer, our go-to guru for all things Blue Star, Lamb laid it out plain and simple. I feel like I'm moving around, running around, being me. Happy as can be, obviously, just believing in my ankle. Obviously, I feel like it's back to where I needed it to be. Can you hear the confidence dripping from that? It's vintage CD, the guy who turns press conferences into poetry slams. Archer even spilled that Lamb could have suited up last week against the Panthers if the Docs greenlit it, but the Cowboys played it safe. Abundance of caution? That's code for, we're building a dynasty here, folks, and it's got me pumped. No one's risking our star for a mid-season skirmish when playoff glory's on the line. Now, let's zoom in on this ankle saga because, let's face it, injuries like this can derail even the mightiest offenses. Lamb's been sidelined since that Bears tilt, watching from the sidelines in street clothes that no one wants to see on a guy this talented. But here's the silver lining. Dallas never blinked. They didn't panic sell at the trade deadline or anything drastic. Nope, they leaned on depth, and it worked like a charm. Enter George Pickens, the off-season steal from Pittsburgh who's been lighting up scoreboards like it's the 4th of July. In Lamb's absence, Pickens has balled out, racking up 525 yards and a whopping 5 touchdowns over those 3 games. That's not just filling a void, that's carving out his own legend. Remember, folks, Pickens was that raw, explosive talent the Steelers couldn't quite harness, traded to us for a mid-round pick and a prayer, and now? He's the leading receiver on one of the league's most potent attacks. Talk about a plot twist worthy of a Hollywood script. And speaking of scripts, let's talk Dak Prescott, the heartbeat of this Cowboys machine. Dak didn't skip a beat without his go-to guy. In fact, he thrived, slinging it to Pickens and the crew with that gunslinger accuracy that's made him a 3-time Pro Bowler. But oh man, the excitement in Dak's voice when he chatted with Archer on Thursday? Pure fire. I think if CD doesn't get hurt, GP's probably just going to be an outside receiver for the most part, Prescott said, grinning ear to ear. Having him move around, him having those games, showing his ability, showing what he can do, showing not only how he relishes it with him getting more opportunities, but him asking for more responsibility, you're going to have to figure out where both of them are. Having the ability to have 2 guys like that and just put them wherever we feel each and every play, it's going to be beneficial to us. Dak's not wrong. This duo, it's like pairing Batman with Robin, but on steroids, unstoppable versatility that defenses will scheme nightmares over. Alright, let's break this down tactically because us diehards crave that X's and O's breakdown. Without Lamb, McCarthy shifted to a more ground-and-pound approach early, leaning on that thunderous offensive line to pave lanes for Tony Pollard and the running backs. Pickens stepped up as the vertical threat, stretching the field and forcing safeties to play honest. Stats don't lie. In those 3 games, Dallas averaged 28 points per contest, with Prescott's completion percentage holding steady at 68%. But insert Lamb back into the mix? We're talking chessmaster-level chaos. Lamb's a route-running wizard, those quick-twitch cuts, the yards after catch that turn 5-yard slants into 50-yard sprints. His 3-game stat line before the injury? 16 catches on 24 targets for 222 yards. No touchdowns yet this season, sure, but that's just the appetizer. Last year, he exploded for 1,749 yards and 12 scores, earning All-Pro nods and making defenses weep. With Pickens at 525 yards already, imagine the math. Lamb's YAC prowess, averaging 6.2 yards per reception career-wise. Paired with Pickens' deep ball magnetism, he's got a 35-yard average on his TDs. Defenses like Washington's, with that leaky secondary led by a banged-up Benjamin St. Just, won't know whether to cover short, deep, or sideways. It's pick-your-poison time, and the Cowboys are serving up a feast. Phew, what a ride, Cowboys faithful. From sideline shadows to spotlight savior, CD Lamb's back, and so is the swagger that's made this franchise legendary. If you're not fired up for Sunday, check your pulse, because AT&T's gonna quake with 100,000 strong chanting, "How about them Cowboys?" Tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Grab your silver and blue, and let's make some noise that echoes to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. This is why we live for Sundays. Heart, hustle, and highlight real magic. Until next time, keep the faith, stay passionate, and remember, in Dallas, we don't rebuild, we reload. Go Cowboys!